Yeah, that's it. And then so they got Jesse James, had one hit song. You know,
Yeah.
Di- Take Me Down Like I'm a Domino or whatever. Kelly Clarkson, she retired because she wanted to be a mom. Now she's coming back and doing some fun stuff.
And still is as popular as she was when she started.
Leslie Roy, no idea who it is. Britney Spears, finally coming back after a major freaking meltdown back in the mid 2000s.
Well, and she doesn't sound as good as she used to either.
No, she doesn't. But she's a little older. Iggy Azalea, someone who shot up because she was a white female rap artist from Australia.
Right.
Everyone's like, whoa, her raps are good. And everyone's like, no, her rap sucks.
Right.
Why would everyone listen to this? Ariana Grande, who is not as,
Oh, her concert's horrible.
Her concert might be horrible, but if you took away performance, if she didn't have to go out and do live performances,
right,
she could probably make it on her own as a recording artist.
She is awesome
because she has a great voice.
Here's my problem with Ariana Grande. I love her voice. I like one of my favorite songs is the Problems that she came out with. I like her when she played in. I don't know if you knew that she played in a show called Victorious a while back.
Yeah,
a kid show.
Yep.
She was really awesome in that. My huge problem with her concert is her stage did more moving than she did.
Yep.
She put on these big platform heels, and she would kind of walk, and she wouldn't really sing the song. She would just hit the high notes, and she'd be huffing and puffing after she's running from one side of the stage to the other. I'm sorry.
That's not what I came for.
I would rather you stand there and sing the song and belt out those high notes.
Yep.
And sing the full song, than you to, or put on a pair of tennis shoes. I mean, you go back and you look at, my first celebrity wife, Hillary Duff. She's wearing tennis shoes. She wears tennis shoes, but she's on this side of the stage. She's on that side of the stage. Yeah. She's singing the song. She's interacting.
Only one female artist has ever been able to do heels as a and perform and do a whole bunch of stuff, and that was Tina Turner.
Right.
No one has ever been able to do it since.
Right.
No offense to any female artists out there. No one's done it since. You can try. I implore anyone to try to do it, but no one's done it.
Well, and these weren't just heels; these are platform heels.
Yeah, so they're heavy.
Right.
They're heavy. They're clunky. They're hard to move around in.
And her stage literally, and it was cool. I mean, the effects were cool. If she would have actually sang and been able to keep up with it, it would have been great. Or if she would have, walked back but she had like squares and rectangles coming up out of the stage, and they'd be up for a second, and then they'd go back down, and they'd run around, and they'd switch spots, and then go back up again, and they'd come back down, and there'd be fire, and I'm like, and I mean, granted, I didn't pay for the tickets, I got them through a radio station, but it was just like, I'm like, and I really didn't want to go. I'm like, I'll go because I think it's one that my girlfriend might want to go to.
Yeah.
And she's a good singer. I could probably just sit and listen to her music. And by the end, I'm like, why did I even waste my time? I wasted an entire evening. And even my girlfriend's like, yeah, that wasn't really that great. I would have rather just go to Applebee's. Kind of like, yeah. Versus I go to a country concert, and there's no other place I would have rather been. And I've seen everyone from Brooks and Dunn when they did their last tour, to Big and Rich, to Brad Paisley. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. There's something about country that just tells stories, and a lot of people are like, a lot of people make this joke and it irritates me. They're like, oh, my dog died. I said, I've never once heard a country song about a dog dying.
Neither.
No. I've heard about one getting a guy out of jail.
Yeah.
But I mean, you think about it, and this is the reason that country music is, and some other genres are as good as they are, is because the people who write for them.
Oh yeah.
There's a guy right now named Chris Stapleton, who finally, came out.
Yeah, he's finally gotten his due.
Right. I mean, he wrote Never Wanted Nothing More he wrote it for Kenny Chesney.
Yep.
Love's Gonna Make It All Right by George Strait. Drink a Beer by Luke Bryan. Comeback Song by Darius Rucker. He has some of his songs have appeared on albums for artists such as Adele, Luke Bryan, Tim McGraw, Brad Paisley, Dierks Bentley. Vince Gill was the one that is touring with the Eagles right now. It's Vince Gill and the son of Glenn Frey.
Nice.
He has also co-written songs with Vince Gill, Peter Frampton, Sheryl Crow.
He has worked with just about every big name in the business, and he didn't get his break to actually sing.
Well, and I think he was one that didn't really want it.
ago.
I think he liked writing.
Yeah.
And he didn't really want to perform.
Could be it.
Because he when you watch his first award ceremony, he knew, everybody there. He'd been on that stage before for, writing, but he'd never been on there for performance. There's a guy, and I'm trying to remember his name. What is his name? There was a country artist that was just like him, would write songs. He wrote songs for some of the best people. And he
Eddie Rabbit?
What?
Eddie Rabbit?
No, he's a country artist.
Yeah, it's Eddie Rabbit.
It wasn't Eddie Rabbit.
Well, he's a country artist.
Okay,
That's why I said that.
No. Anyway, but he wrote songs and he would never sing them. He never wanted to sing them. He didn't like singing them. But one day what he would do is he would hire, when he would go to be pitched to an artist, he would hire somebody to sing the song for him.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where one day the person he'd hired in to sing called in sick. They literally were throwing up. They couldn't do it. And so he was forced to sing his own song. And the artist looked at him and said, why are you just writing songs? Why do you just write? Why do you not sing these songs that you write? They're beautiful songs. And I wish I could remember his name. There's one song that he sang by himself, but he actually came out as an artist for a while. He hasn't done anything big, so I think he went back to writing. But he was another one of those where he had written for a while, and he didn't like to sing, and it just kind of held him back. And somebody looked at him, and so that could have even been that way for Chris Stapleton. They could have been, hey, why do you not
sing? Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you not sing?
Okay, so I think it's probably a wrap. This basically what we're trying to get at.
Phil Vassar is the one that I'm thinking of.
Okay, yeah.
Because he wrote a lot of songs.
Yep. So basically what we're trying to say is, it's not a smash against pop artists that, that sing good songs. Like I'll be perfectly honest, I don't like him, but Justin Bieber's put out some pretty good tunes the last few years. He stopped being so, melodramatic about stuff. He's still kind of weird, but, that's what you expect from a 13-year-old that got popular off a YouTube video.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
Logan and Jake Paul?
Right.
So, but it's more of it's like a critique. Like, you wonder why people, like the oldies a little bit. Like they'll listen to the new stuff, but what people still will like scream and cheer.
You always refer to, like when I'm having a party, I always play older stuff.
Yeah, or like when if you like sing a cover, one of your concerts, like you do a cover of another song that someone from like the
Hootie and the Blowfish,
right,
the Eagles,
like stuff like that. There's a reason people cheer, is because they like those songs way more.
Yeah.
Just even if they weren't born that time period, they still like those songs because they're still good songs. Because they still relate in the same way. But if you just write for the culture of now, then 10 years from now when the culture is completely different, either you're going to be found as weird or you're going to be found as outdated. One of the two.
And you don't want to be found as outdated, let me tell you.
No. Not at all. So, but for whatever that is our little bit of a opinion rant about
music
this week.
And now it is time for
Movie Madness Monday. Movie Madness Monday.
Yes, that is right. It is time for Movie Madness Monday. Sorry, that was low volumes. My tablet likes to turn itself down and not turn itself back up, and it's kind of irritating.
That's weird.
It is weird. So, what is our first thing for Movie Madness Monday?
We got a new Deadpool.
We do have a new Deadpool. New Deadpool is coming out soon. The trailer, if I'm not mistaken, was just released. At least if it wasn't just released, I just saw it for the first time the other day.
Yeah. Is it the one where he's in
The cab.
kit? Okay, yeah. Okay. I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
He just if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's on YouTube. It's actually pretty. It looks pretty cool. I don't know what the reviews are, the critics, what the critics are saying.
We won't for a little while.
But I do know that apparently this one, Ryan Reynolds contributed a lot more than he did in the first one originally. I think he had a problem, didn't he? Like, wasn't there a whole bunch of directors fired off the first movie because he didn't agree with them?
Could have been that. I never.
Or maybe it was this one. He wanted more input and they wouldn't give it to him.
This one he wanted more input, and they did give it to him though.
Well, there was
getting writing credits.
There was one that he wanted more say in, and they wouldn't let him, and so they went through a few directors. I didn't remember if that was the first one or the start of this one.
It's probably this one.
Anyway, so apparently he's contributed a lot more in this movie than he did originally in the first one. The original Deadpool was a true passion for Ryan Reynolds, who pretty much willed the movie into existence. Because I know he pulled for that role to become a movie a long time ago. But he also had some help of some leaked test footage, and the fan demanded that
people demand to see it.
Right.
They wanted to see what the ish was going to look like.
So, but Reynolds is clearly taking a hands-on approach to this new sequel, and so I'm kind of excited to see what kind of writing he's got under his belt. He actually contributed so much that he will actually get a writing credit in the movie. It's always been clear that Ryan Reynolds is very involved with the Deadpool movies. He brings sensibilities to the role, and he was born to play this part. I like Ryan Reynolds, but I feel like sometimes he is a little too full of himself.
I don't know necessarily he's full of himself. I think he's just a very energetic person.
Yeah. He's very passionate.
He is. And he's a lot different than a lot of some more Hollywood elites, because you never see him, making grandiose speeches. He's never, well, this is what I think, you guys. It's just like, hey, you want to see my movie?
Right.
You want to enjoy your time? Here, come watch my movie. And that's it. That's all he ever does. So I think it's just because he's a lot different. Like he legit jokes like someone who's never acted before.
Right.
Jokes. Yeah. I think that's why that's why he might come off that way, just because he seems like he's being disingenuous because he acts like everybody else when no one in Hollywood acts like anybody else.
Well, that's why there's a lot of artists I like Zach Brown Band is that way.
Yeah.
If you go to, they call it an eat and greet.
Yeah.
They have a personal chef that rides around with them and cooks their southern food from their home.
Yeah.
And they invite a whole bunch of people, and you go through the line, and the cook's prepared this great meal. You go through and you get a plate, and you sit down and you eat. And the band table hops from table to table.
Nice. I like it.
But you don't get autographs. They don't do autographs. They don't do anything because to them they're nothing special. They're just
they're singers.
They're just people.
Yep.
That like to sing, like to play, have a good time.
Yep.
That's it.
That's a good attitude to have.
It is, and
even more reason to like Zach Brown Band.
Right, and I respect a lot of. I've heard of a few others that are kind of like that, and I have a lot of respect for artists like that and people, and people who don't stick their nose in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, like you've got Oprah, who's in everything.
Yeah.
Apparently president for 2020.
Yeah.
The next election. But it's like, listen. Just no. Just
sit at home, please.
Just continue your movies. And just Just do that.